And we are live. Welcome, welcome. My name is Keith Hampton, and I am a very happy customer of an organization called BitcoinTAF.com or BitcoinTrendandForecast.com. BitcoinTAF is a group of individuals that are here to help as many human beings as possible get immersed into the cryptocurrency space, how to invest in cryptocurrencies, how to trade cryptocurrencies, what do you need to know? Where are the coins going? When are they going? All these questions are answered in this organization. It is an incredible organization. It got started about 9 years ago by a wonderful gentleman named Marius Landman. And Marius had the unique ability way back when to use algorithms to predict the future. He was utilizing these algorithms in the early days in the oil and gas industry to predict accidents, near misses, and deaths in the drilling and completion side of the industry. And at first, the world said, it's impossible. How could you do that? But over time, it was proven 100% successful. He's used these algorithms in stock markets, he's used them in other markets, and now he's using it in the cryptocurrency space. And that is when I got involved with this organization about 8 years ago when I wanted to know what was happening in the cryptocurrency space. I was looking for reliable information and unagendaed information because there was a lot of misinformation out there in the internet space, and I wanted to find a group that I could trust that had my interests at heart and not just theirs. And that's when I come across this organization called BitcoinTAF.com. There is a lot of things in here to help you folks. So I recommend that you simply go to the site, BitcoinTAF.com, and hey, sign up for free and dig around and find all kinds of information in here, what you might be interested in. It is truly remarkable. There are so many things to offer. And one of the things that I like to point out is if you're just getting started, you may want to look at either Bitcoin specifically, or if you're looking for altcoins, I recommend that there's two places that you can go. One is the Bitcoin long-term trend reports, where we specifically focus on Bitcoin, where we've come from, where are we at, and more importantly, where do we want to go? But if you're looking for information on the altcoins, like Litecoin or XRP or Ethereum and a plethora, Solana, all those other major altcoins, then I would highly recommend that you subscribe to the Elliott Wave algorithm and chart patterns. This report is very detailed on just a gazillion altcoins out there, where we're at and where we're going, so that you can plan your investment strategy according to that, as well as both courses have weekly webinars with Marius, so we can explain where we're at and where we're going. And we also get each week published PDF reports as well to pour over, because there's a lot of information there for us to learn. And in this learning process, you may want to get more educated. And that's where these foundational trading courses and ultimate trading courses come into play. I highly recommend that you start off with the foundational course. You can take it on a self-learning, or you can take it live. It's really depending on the time of year you want to take the course. But once you've completed that, then you folks really need to take a serious look at the ultimate day trading course. In my opinion, it's the world's best trading course in the world. I've tried other trading courses. I've spent 3 times the subscription and got 1/3 the value. This, tell you, is the best. When you finish this course, it's like graduating from university with a PhD. You're not only going to be a good trader, but you can become your own analyst, and you can utilize the tools to trade any market, whether it's the cryptocurrency market, stock market, what have you. So that's the beauty of these different courses. If you like to follow the traders and just copy trade, you can do that as well with the day trade master's course or day trade setups, as well as the MTT reports, depending on your time that you have to spend on trading. For myself, I like to use the long-term reports, excuse me, And more importantly, this is why I want to know this. This is a chart of Bitcoin. And you'll notice that since going way back here into January of 2024, over the last year, we have come a long ways. And that's been kind of a rocky road. Ironically, all that you see on this screen was predicted by Marius over 2 years ago. He predicted all of these different ups and downs. And so we were able to take advantage of that if we were trading Bitcoin. The key today, though, is where are we at and where are we going? You know, 50-50. There's a lot of people saying, no, no, we just had a little blip and we are heading up. We've got some others saying, nah, that's not going to happen. It's just going to keep wobbling in this zone for quite some time. And we've got other people saying, nope, we're in for a major correction here and it's going down. The question is, which one is correct? Which one is accurate? And that's where Marius's long-term reports come in. He tells us exactly where we are here and where we're going. And with that information, I can strategize where I am going to go. So that's just one of the keys, with Bitcoin. Now, in here, we also have another product that we rolled out that is really good for people that want to trade and want to use a good tool to find momentum in the marketplace. This tool is called the HODL Fire. It was developed by Wendy Landman, Marius's wife, and she's more of a short-term trader. And she was wanting a good indicator to determine when the momentum's shifted in the marketplace. Now, you can try this HODL Fire out for free for 7 days just by putting in the coupon code HODLFire7 in the checkout in the coupon code area, or you can subscribe to it for $31 a month. And it is a really, really powerful tool that you can use. Now, also, they are currently having training on the HODL Fire that you can learn how to utilize it. So you can do one-on-one trading with this as well. And that's the power of this organization. You can get education and training on everything that you take in this organization. Now I'm going to show you this HODL Fire tool, and it's really quite remarkable. So for example, I've got a coin up here called Tau, and they're on 2-hour candles. So each candle is a 2-hour time frame. So I'm going to turn this tool on, and what the tool does is it shows us where the pivot bottoms are and where the pivot tops are, and when we should probably buy and perhaps when we should sell. Now, no indicator is 100% accurate. They are high degree probability. So I always like to use risk management in my trading. So with this tool, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for buy tags, or sorry, pivot bottoms and pivot tops. Now you'll notice here at the front, the pivots are in blue. That means they are unconfirmed pivot tops and bottoms. So that's what I mean. They're not 100% correct until later on in time when they are fully confirmed. So to protect myself, what I'm looking for in a trade is I'm looking for a pivot bottom, like here, and I'm looking for a buy tag. So once I get that buy tag, I got a pretty good idea that this coin is going up. So that's when I would enter the trade. And at the same time, I want to protect my capital. So I would set my risk on this, a stop loss, just slightly below that bottom pivot. So really what I'm risking on this trade, if it goes against me, is I'm risking only 5 to 6% of whatever I put down. Now, as this coin goes up, I'm looking for a top pivot. And at that point, I would be getting out. So if I got a pop pivot here, I probably would have got out somewhere around here and turned that trade into a profitable trade of a roughly 7%. So this would have been a trade ratio of 1 to 1, and that's, is okay. It would have made about, 7% there. However, you can see if you go back in time, this could have been extremely profitable. For example, if we would have caught this big run, we would have got in about here. We would have set our stop loss back here, just below that zone. And again, we would have been risking only a small percentage of our investment, in this case about 5%, and we would have gotten out at the top about here. Now we could have even, as this took off, we could have raised our stop loss to break even into stop profit, slowly going up with this. But since we got the pivot top, we would have got out. And in this case, we would have locked in a huge return of 28%. So the risk reward ratio on that would have been about 5 to 1, which is excellent odds. So that's why I like the cryptocurrency market because you get big swings. And when you get big swings like this, you can really profit from it. And for the more astute traders, you could even work this in reverse, where you could be shorting the stock as it's going the other way, locking in the profit going down. That's more for the sophisticated trader, and I don't recommend that without your full education and training in that area. Now, the other thing you can do is you can follow the traders or the other analysts. And for example, in the medium-term reports, these work on 12-hour candles, 8-hour to 12-hour candles, and they give you good entry zones. And again, once you've had the training, you could do very, very well. For example, here's a coin here called ICP. Now, what's really neat about this is the indicator and the support range gave us all the tools we needed. For example, we had a trigger dot entered right here. And you'll notice that's just when it was breaking this blue bull line. So we could have entered this trade right about here. Oops, my apologies, gotta get the tool again. And we could have confirmed, we could maybe even, if you're a cautious person, wait until we broke over the this EMA moving average and got in at this zone. And ironically, we've gotten a candle here, or I should say a red dot, and we've got a cross going on here, and we would have jumped out somewhere in this zone. And in this case, we could have captured anywhere from, and I'll just be conservative, could have captured about 100% profit with a risk of about 20%. So again, about a ratio of 5 to 1 or 6 to 1. So that's how you can utilize these tools, with the education and training that Nico provides. And he's going to be doing a call tomorrow, live, November 11th on Remembrance Day, explaining more detail about how this course works and how you need to sign up for it. Folks, it is so inexpensive for the knowledge you learn. I mean, where can you go for under $1,000 Canadian, or so roughly $800 US, and get a PhD in training on trading the cryptocurrency markets or trading the stock markets? That's what I'm talking about. It's so invaluable. And along with that, the education training never ends because you can go from foundational training to ultimate trading. And they even now we have decentralized finance training for the decentralized finance markets. So there's something here for everybody. And it's a question of where you're at and where you want to go. So I welcome you to come on board with us, take a look at all the different offerings that we have, and hopefully you'll see the value in what we have to offer. And with that, I'd like to thank you folks for listening to me this, and hopefully we'll see you on the other side. And welcome. I really want to see you on the other side of this organization. Thank you so much for hearing me out. Take care.